who of us here have not stepped into that fantasy world where you're so filled with self-pity, so preoccupied with yourself and with what men can do to you, that you step into a fantasy world that is nothing but blank darkness and despair all around. And you don't see things as they are at all. You don't see the real world as it exists. You have an absolutely perverted view of the outside world. You don't see it as it is. You see your version of it, with you right in the center, as the one who has to at all costs be protected and guarded. And loved ones, who of us have not said that, you know? Who of us have not got into that position deep down where we've said, what way are they treating me? What have I done to deserve this? Am I the only one that does anything here? Or we do it the stoical way. I'll bravely bear the cross. You know that stuff? Well, I have to do it. If I don't do it, nobody will. But your legs are bent and your back's bent. You're not walking straight and joyous. You're very aware that you are carrying far more than your share of this world's ills upon your shoulders. And you're doing it remarkably bravely, considering your background. And you just want the Lord to know that, and would be good if your wife and your roommate knew a little of it too. But on the whole, you'll keep a stiff upper lip and not let anybody know you're suffering, except that we all know you're suffering. Today, it's very fashionable to treat it in a slightly more sophisticated fashion. We say, oh, you poor thing, your emotions need to be healed. And so we reckon that a person in that state of self-pity and depression needs to be given a great deal of concern and regard. Not realizing, of course, that the whole reason for their self-pity is that they see themselves as the center of the whole universe. And that's their problem. And that's why they're so depressed. Because they've put themselves in the position where they're judging everything according to how it affects them. And they are not the center of the universe. In fact, God is. So they're taking up a totally unrealistic position. And God is allowing those symptoms in their emotions to come to them to tell them, listen, there's something wrong. You're putting yourself in the wrong spot. But we in our society, with our own foolishness, of course, think, oh, they need their emotions healed. They need more affection, more love, more attention. What they need is less attention, less affection, probably. Now, I'd point out to you, loved ones, that Jesus' method of dealing with self-pity and depression, see, is wholly different from that. And then, of course, Jesus turned round to the disciples and he said, you know, the way I'm living and dying, any of you who want to be really my own Father's people and children, you'll have to live the same way. You know. Any of you who want to follow me, you'll have to deny yourself and take up your cross and follow me. And if you want to save your life, and you want to preserve your emotional life as you want it, and you want to save yourself from hardship, you'll actually end up losing it in despair and self-pity and anxiety. But if you're willing to lose your life for my sake, if you're willing to forget about yourself and forget how these things are affecting you and be concerned only with what my Father put you here to do on earth, then you'll find your life. And loved ones, that's it. If you will keep your nerve and will hold to what God has given you to do in this world, and will do it with all your heart and enjoy it, and will not allow your eyes to be deflected or distracted to how you're going to get along after all this is over, or how you're going to see your way through retirement, or how you're going to see through your life without a wife or a husband, if you'll refuse to be deflected into self-pity, God will take you on through, and you'll not only live heroically for him, but he will add all other things onto you. But if you lose your nerve and you begin to be concerned about yourself and to be taken up with how these things are affecting you, you'll lose everything. Really.